tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
What's wrong with being confident? What's wrong with being
Yeah, sing it.
It's time to get the
Hey guys, welcome back to the AfterBuzz podcast for Supergirl. We are already on episode 16. This is crazy. You only got 4 more after this. This one, oh my gosh, it's just called Red Kryptonite? What was the name? I didn't write the name. I'm so sorry.
Falling.
Great start. Anyway, hey guys, I'm one of your hosts, JJ Jurgens, and I'm joined here tonight by
Stephanie Wenger. Hi, you can find me on Twitter at Stephanie Wenger.
And I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Tauri J. Tauri.
All right, well, different episode tonight because we got to see a different Supergirl than we were used to seeing.
Crazy different, polar opposite.
Yeah, what do you guys think about this bad Supergirl?
I just thought she was, like, it was everything that you kind of fear Supergirl to be. Like, that's really where they took it. Like, if she used her powers for evil, that was the Supergirl you were getting tonight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I liked her. I wanted to spend a little bit more time with this Supergirl. Just kind of seeing her unfold in all of her anger and seeing, like, how far she was willing to go. Like, at a moment, I thought that she was going to kill that one alien, and I was like, man, they're really, like, going for it.
Mm-hmm.
I also loved her sassiness. She was real sassy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also love that it bled into her Kara life as well. Like, because I wasn't exactly sure how kryptonite would affect Kara, and you saw that it affected her across the board. So that was really interesting, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely agree. And I think some of my favorites were her interactions with Kat. You know how she's ballsy enough to take her elevator and has that sassiness with her. You know, and Kat even kind of enjoyed it because she said the Brazen's, a new color for you, and she doesn't mind it. And I thought it was fun to see those two interact now in kind of a different way than we usually see them.
I also love that her style changed. Maybe that's like the girly side of me, but it was just like, oh wait, this is something completely different. Not that I don't love like the Kara and Supergirl normal style, but it was fun to see this kind of like professional, like super like awesome.
Well,
I don't know.
Agree with you on that. Yeah.
No, because her typical wardrobe is very reserved, which is a reflection of her as a character. But she became more outgoing and more of an exhibitionist. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. As she became more aggressive, and so her outfits became more dark and more like, I guess, showy, which is kind of how she became. Dark and showy.
Yeah. How did you feel about her dark and showy moment with James in the dance club?
That was crazy to me because it felt like it went beyond just being like bold, which is kind of what the character was, and kind of like obviously a Supergirl a little more evil, but really just like a bold character. And that I was just like, whoa, you are like that girl in nightclub that everyone takes a step back from. Yeah. So that was interesting to see, and I thought James' reaction to it was also really like exactly how I would expect him to react.
Yeah, I'd agree. Like I like that they played with the fact that he got what he wanted, but it wasn't the way that he wanted it. I also felt like if she had stopped talking and just like gone for the kiss, it wouldn't have been as bad. But she like went that extra step and just started trashing Lucy.
Yeah, not a good move. Not to win him over.
Yeah, no, you don't want to go there. And it just felt like such a low blow for this guy who, like, obviously, like, she ended things with him. I think she knows that. No, she did.
Yeah.
She knew that Lucy ended things with James. And then to, like, go after Lucy like that was pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think what fun for her as an actress to get to play now too, because she gets to, she has a great role normally as a normal Supergirl in Car and stuff, but how fun to get to flip the switch a little bit and get to play this other side.
Yeah.
I agree.
It'd be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So during this process too, we've had assistant 1 and assistant 2. So she did a good job of getting assistant, 1 actually, she was being called for a while there, but getting Siobhan out. What did you guys feel about that?
I mean, I thought it was bolder than I expected her to be about it. I thought she was going to kind of do it more, for lack of a better description, under the table with it, like be passing her things as Supergirl and like make sure that that Kat was taken care of, but not so blatantly in competition. So I liked seeing her really get competitive in the office.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. It was a really, I guess for me, it was a really gray moment where technically Siobhan was following a scoop. You know, it was something that she thought was right because it's this character that has been touted as being so above everyone and so amazing, and she sees her do it, like letting someone go. And if Kat, who is from her perspective in Supergirl's pocket, basically, isn't going to run with it, like, she's just ambitious enough to go for it. Like, so either way, she was going to be out, because Kat would have found out. But, like, to have it be via backstabbing was interesting.
But you kind of said this is now what we get to see, like, the first little nugget of her turning into the character that we know that she's going to become, like, for some ammunition for her.
Yeah.
So I guess we had to have something kind of stir up that pot a little bit. What did you think about the very beginning where Kara catches them in her with Winn in the room?
Oh yeah, you were just like, that is when your like special vision does not do good things. Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, ultra ray vision, not your friend at that point. Yeah, I don't know. It just was like you had that moment where you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, and you knew what she was going to see behind that. I mean, if from the kiss
well, not to use the term ballsy, but pretty ballsy of Winn, though, too. Like, in the middle of the day to be, you know, like we were talking about before, that office is not that private. I mean, there's glass windows everywhere in that whole, structure. Yeah. So, sure, people would probably catch two people walking out of that room adjusting their clothes together.
You make a good point, because that is completely out of character for him. Right? Because he's like,
I mean, a kiss is one thing, but
like quiet. He seems quiet and like works hard and does his job. Like, it just seems like, to like use the supply closet in that way.
Well, I mean, you could imagine that she's the one initiating.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that Winn is. I'm just glad that he's like has some action. Like, I'm glad he's not still pining over Supergirl. He's doing his own thing.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, because it's nice to have a break from that, especially now that James and Kara are kind of, going their ways or whatever, going towards that. I like not having him sitting there watching it and feeling sad or, being how we were seeing him for a while. So me too, I'm all for it. Good for him.
Yeah.
Have some fun.
I mean, have some fun. But I think he's going to ultimately end up regretting it when she comes back as the Silver... Is it Silver Banshee? Banshee, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some trouble there, too. Yeah, that can't be good.
Or
I don't know.
He's going to have this sweet, sweet supervillain girlfriend.
We can hope.
I think that would be a really fun turn. Though, I think that, this isn't a prediction, but, like, the fact that his dad is a villain and now his girlfriend might become one is going to really mess with him. So I feel bad, but I think while it lasts, so good.
Yeah. So another one that has been kind of bad, but then on that borderline. So we see Maxwell come in again tonight, and help them out since he's the one that created this, we find out.
See, I don't know that I can ever put him truly in the good category because it's always like helping after doing something terrible. Like, or he's coming in and doing one nice thing, but the other 80% is terrible. So I don't know that I can ever now. For a long time, I was like, oh, he's gray, and I like a gray character, and I'm like, he's more evil than he's good.
Right. I mean, I like that his character fluctuates. I thought it was weird that he was so, I guess, less gray and more on the good side this time around, because he got real mustache twirly in the last few episodes.
Yeah.
That you would never think that he would help them. But I guess ultimately, as a character, he's always just kind of trying to do what he thinks is right. And so I guess for him, having Supergirl become this threat, he acknowledges that he was wrong. So I guess that makes him more complex.
But you are right, because it was such a drastic turn a few episodes ago to this guy now. And again, when he's this guy, I feel like we also saw another moment of him kind of flirting with Alex a little bit, you know?
Yeah, there's something there, I feel like, where there's like some chemistry or something, and I don't know if she'll ever act on it or if it'll be like a mistake kind of thing, and then they're gonna have to figure out how to like go back to this weird kind of working relationship that they have. I just feel like there is chemistry though every time they have a scene together.
I just want them to make that mistake. Just I don't want her with him, but once I do. Just once, because they're so cute together, and they just they have great chemistry, and you can feel it and see it every time they're on screen together. So I mean, I don't know if we'll get that this season, but season two, I would like to see that. So big episode for J'onn J'onzz this time. We see more of his transformation and him have to come out in character again, which he didn't want to have to do. Yeah. So how did you guys feel about his interaction with all this bad Supergirl?
I loved that fight. It was great. Because we're invested in both of those characters. So to have him fighting Kara, especially after the last few episodes where they were angry at each other, and so it kind of you'd almost feel like it would culminate into this fight, but you just more feel bad for him, and you also are worried for Kara, you know. So it's I think that they had set up these expectations, and then they're like, haha, we're gonna subvert your expectations and make it better. So that was my opinion.
No, I agree with you. I thought, again, like, the fight sequence, it's so cool. I mean, every week I feel like they come up with a way, and I have to give them so much credit. We're now on episode 16, and somehow each week the fight sequences are incredible and different. Like, you know, they film on the Warner Brothers lot here in LA, and you have to wonder how they're getting all this done and making it look so different.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. So fun to watch. I love watching him transform every single time. Like, that always makes me excited. And I thought interesting in all of her anger and everything that she was saying, but each character was like, there is truth to what you were saying. So I thought it was interesting to see how the little, out of all her hatred, how some of those things hit home to each character and how that kind of affected their relationships now, like moving forward.
Yeah, especially with Alex. I felt that because you saw Alex, someone who you don't really expect to get emotional. I'm trying to think back over the course of the season. I don't think we've seen Alex get emotional particularly, and she got very emotional over what Kara was saying.
Yeah. I'm glad it stuck. Like, I'm glad that after the end, everyone was just like, you were on kryptonite drugs. Like, there was real stakes. And I felt like through this episode, it seemed like it would have been a really good mid-season finale, because it essentially changed everything. You know, her dynamic with Kat, it changed Jean's position, it changed her relationship with James and her sister. So, like, For me, if they had taken a break after this, I would have been like, where are they gonna go next? And now it really has set the stage for us to kind of go into the main story of Non and stuff, and let her try to redeem herself through that. So I think it was really well set up.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. While you were saying that made me think of, we didn't talk about the scene of her tossing Kat over the building.
Yeah. How did we?
Yeah, we not brought that one up yet. But yeah, I mean, yeah, what did you guys think about that one?
I mean, insane, and again, special effects, incredible, but it was one of those things where you're just like, if you ever did that to your boss in a real environment, obviously, you would have other issues, criminal issues, but it was just like, you wouldn't be able to recover from that, and I love by the end of the episode, she, kind of does recover.
Yeah. Sorry. I really thought that scene was, like, I think that was one of the most intense scenes that we've seen, just because you have two really powerful women who are both powerful in different ways, facing off against each other in kind of a battle of wits, and ultimately it ends in no. I was going to say urine contest. But like it ends in a show of strength. And I loved, there was a quote from that where it was, true power is deciding who lives and dies.
Yep.
And I thought that was the greatest quote that this show has produced this whole season.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I also love that you kind of saw both of their powers earlier in the episode. They started with Kat on the talk, which was a nice CBS tie-in as well, and you kind of saw how she was this powerful CEO, not that you didn't know it already, but it was like a straight reminder of that. And then you have Supergirl, who, is fighting villains, and then you see them kind of face off exactly as you said, these two powerful women, and they're kind of battling, and that's a really interesting place to be.
And Kat didn't back down. I mean, after even getting thrown off the building, you think she might be scared to go out and say anything negative about Supergirl. She might, that might scare you a little bit, getting tossed off a building. But, for her to, go out there and tell people that they're not safe with her, and, to speak to the public and giving that press conference, and, because she is saying how she built Supergirl and how she made her this character that that the people are loving and supporting and embracing, and how quickly her power is, that she has the power of the media that can change the image of Supergirl. Yeah. They can show all this bad footage and show her in the bar blasting the bottle, but do things to now get people to turn against her. So it was really nice to see those two powerful forces go against each other, I think.
Yeah, it was also interesting to see, obviously Kryptonite we've known is Supergirl's downfall, but to see her, because it wasn't made properly and was this red kryptonite, become it was almost like a vulnerability. Like, yes, she became bolder and stuff, but it really showed like a more vulnerable side to her, that with one little change, all of these that she's doing, all good things, can become bad things. And I thought that was also a really interesting storytelling move that they can use in future seasons.
Yeah. Speaking about the vulnerability, let's talk about, so then we see her with James now, after she's back to normal, and she was very vulnerable in that scene.
Yeah, I agree. The tears, when you see the tears before she even gets to James, she kind of realizes the scope of what's happened. And sitting with James, it was heartbreaking to see her open up and then him kind of take a step back. Like, he wasn't ready. And you understand why, because of what has happened, but you just felt for her. I felt for her.
Was she ready to say, I'm in love with you?
I mean, I always want her to say, I'm in love with you.
Do you think that was what was coming?
I mean, yeah, she was going to say it, but, like, the timing couldn't have been worse.
Oh, yeah.
Because she proved herself to be such a threat, man. So, like, I always use the analogy of her being like a nuclear bomb, and, like, how do you use it? And it must be used responsibly. And just, like, he had known her this whole time as this really innocent girl, and now he sees it, like, underneath the surface. Like, you never really know who someone is. So just because you never know when she's going to release her inhibitions or, like, lose control, which she did. And I love that he didn't stick around, or he wasn't so forgiving about it. Do you guys think, how long do you guys think that he's going to be standoffish or need in order to forgive her?
I think the kiss is coming in the finale.
I was about to say the cynic.
We gotta go. Yeah.
The cynic in me says they're gonna wait till the season finale for that. Like, they're gonna give it to you as like potentially the last or second to last scene of that finale.
So too. I think there'll be this whole fight build up that we know is brewing, and then somehow lives are saved. He's saved. Then we have that epic movie moment where they're gonna kiss in the midst of all the rubble and all that stuff. Anyway.
Okay. I agree with you, but like in my heart, I'm like, next week, guys.
I know.
But yeah.
No, but I'm really glad that it wasn't this week, and that I didn't want to see him just now jump to her after Lucy was gone. You know, because that would have made me mad if it was just like, okay, yeah, now we can be together and let's try this. Because
I agree with you. Like logically, I'm right on your page, but always want more romance. So for me, I'm like, but guys, next week? Can we have it next week? Is that too soon? No, it'll probably be in the finale.
Right. I mean, who knows? He could be running to Lucy right now.
I mean, yeah. Do you think that's the last we've seen of Jenna and Lucy on the show? Jenna's
I don't know for this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I think
no, was
she'll
she
come
in
back.
Was she in the trailer?
Not for next week, no. Spoilers.
Okay.
Well, we'll have to check.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the last we've seen
Yeah.
of her, especially because she's in the military, and we know that there's a big thing coming
Yeah.
with Myriad or whatever. Yeah.
It'll be exciting. I'm excited for that.
All right. Anything else on this episode?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was really clever the way that they did Red Kryptonite. Like it's a thing that's in the comics, and it affects Superman differently, and like it's a reoccurring thing because there are so many different colors of kryptonite, and they all affect in different ways. And we've seen it in other iterations, like in Smallville, where it kind of just made Clark Kent really broody, and ultimately led him to ride off into the sunset. I like that one. It was manufactured. It wasn't just a piece of Krypton that like landed on Earth. I love that it was just a mistake that someone had made. But I thought that was a clever way of doing it.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely fun to see. Made for a great episode. Yeah. All right, well, we do have one little piece of news and gossip for you guys. We're going to play a clip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So, the Nickelodeon's Kid Choice Awards were this weekend, and Grant Gustin was up for Favorite Male TV Star of a Family Show for The Flash. So we got to get a little quick interview with him and ask him about the crossover that's coming up. So we're going to play a little clip here of what he had to say about that.
I know you probably can't give away much, but what can you tell us about the crossover?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Me and Melissa knew each other a little bit from Glee, and we had never really worked together, and I love her so much. She's a hard worker, a great actress, and so I had wanted to do a crossover, and I was really excited it happened. And it's just really cool to see the two characters together in their suits. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, the internet's gone crazy already with just a few of the pictures posted. So, I mean, how big do you think this is going to be once it hits for those fans of your two shows?
It's cool. I mean, it's I think another step towards hopefully doing sometime next year a big crossover with all of the DC shows that are on TV now, and just continuing to expand that network. I mean, that universe. So it's going to be really exciting. It's going to open a lot of doors for all the characters interacting.
Great. Today, so have you ever been slimed before?
No, I've never been slimed. Last year was my first year, and I didn't get slimed.
Would you like to be
I
slimed?
would love to be slimed. Although I'm so unprepared. I have no backup clothes. If I were to win, I have no idea what I'm going to say. But I would love to get slimed.
If you could pick anybody, whether they're here or not, that you would want to get slimed, who would you like to see slimed?
Can I just say my brother? Because I think that would be really funny. But I want to get slimed with him if he were to get slimed, because I really do just want to get slimed. My first answer is me. I want to see me get slimed. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Good to meet you.
You too.
So exciting that he talks about having a giant, thing with all of the characters. I thought that fired me up.
That
Be
makes
bananas.
me so excited.
Right?
Yeah, like I can't wait for that. I feel like, I don't know, next season he was mentioning, that would be amazing.
Yeah, he sounded kind of serious. So I was like, okay, let's see. Of course you want to know more, but that's, all we could get. But yeah, really, really excited for the crossover episode. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and they recently released the poster for it, and they did it in the style of the old Flash Superman race issue, because that's like a big classic thing where the Superman and the Flash have a race, and every time it gets interrupted by some villain or whatever, but it's always really fun because like they're two different like Superman's just like such a Boy Scout, and the Flash is really like snide. So seeing them play off of one another is really fun as well. So I hope we get the same thing.
Yeah, I can't wait to, just because when you see the pictures, just like he said, seeing them both in when they saw each other in the costumes, it was big for big for them even. So for us, it's like just seeing those picture posts. I'm like, oh, can't wait to see how they interact, what happens, how they work together.
And I remember them both on Glee, and they're so fun. It's going to be so fun to see them in their costumes and doing something completely different because Glee is obviously one world, and now you're in Supergirl's world, and you know, I feel like it must also be fun for him to pop into like Supergirl, because I think that The Flash, correct me if I'm wrong, is filmed in Canada.
Yes.
Yeah, and so just a very different set for him as well.
Well, all you fans out there, tweet both of them and tell them that you would like to see them come talk about the crossover here.
Yeah.
Yes. Wouldn't we love that? Like, that'd be a blast. All right, do we have any predictions? And we kind of said a few along the way. Any other
new ones?
I mean, I think that Hank will get out of prison. I think they're going to release him once Non unleashes Myriad, and they're going to realize that they need his help. And then after that happens and he saves the day, he's going to make out with the senator.
I'm glad you said that, because we didn't talk about her hitting on him a little bit. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I like that.
That's it. They're just going to make out a lot.
I think I've said most of mine earlier. I'm just really excited. Even hearing him talk about the crossover, I think it's just like, again, I'm so excited for that. I know it's in a couple weeks, but excited to see that happen.
Yep. Me too. I don't have any more. I think we kind of said them earlier. Yeah. But yeah, just very, very excited for these last few episodes. I think it's going to be a fun ride to the end. So thank you guys so much for watching. Go and watch other shows here at AfterBuzz. We always love reading all your guys' comments, rate and comment, and it helps us here keep the lights on and keep the shows going. And you guys always have great fun things for us to comment back to and read and think about. So we appreciate it. And so I want to thank you guys too for riding along with us all season so far. Last time, where can everybody follow you guys at?
You can follow me at Stephanie Wenger.
You can find me at Tauri J, Taurijay.
And I'm at JJ Jurgens. So thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.